Yes, I'm getting a prenup. Why? Because I want all the terms and conditions to be established when and if anything does happen. That is divorce, that is death, that is a coma, that is if you hit the lottery, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It's just an agreement. I think a prenup is less appropriate than living an adjustable will. Demanding someone to be able to know that they want decades later at the beginning of a marriage is not realistic. What? I'm not understanding that, Asado. Not understanding that at all, bro. You got to have to talk to me, bro. Not understanding the point, bro. Not understanding the point. Talk to me, family.
What's up, buddy? How are you, man?
I'm good, man. It's been a little minute.
It's been a long time, bro. So that guy just kind of hit the nail on the head. I think all right, I can tell. My wife's not on here. I was separated this year. I've married 7 years in a week, but I was separated for 3 months this year. So I had a lot of time to think about perspective, the potential of stuff going. I got 2 kids, don't have a house, but there's still money that has to be flowing out. So I think the thing that I would say is I almost feel like the prenup, and this could be societal, right? But pre-marriage, not deciding things with your wife, with your future partner, who you're supposed to biblically, right? I mean, there's factors outside of, but figuring out things without your wife is just going to set you up for disaster.
Exactly.
So if you're willing to do this together and come to because we look at prenups as like separate. Now he's right. There is different documents that we have created as a society, right? So there's the prenup, which again, as I said before, usually gets hit up once divorce happens. A living will usually handle resuscitation, will usually handle all that stuff. But having any type of document together, I think the part that maybe not everybody's seeing is that it's got to be together. If you're getting married and you're like, well, I'm going to make sure I'm protected, which I get. I understand that, but I also see
and that's why it's called an agreement, Nate.
Yeah,
like
true.
I said, we're like, if you can't come to terms, then you can't sign it.
Right.
It's got to be an agreement. We have to agree.
Right.
It's not even an agree, disagree. No, we have to literally agree on the terms. Why?
Right.
My lawyer has my best interest in mind. Your lawyer, you have to pay for 2 separate lawyers.
I can't imagine getting a lawyer in before. I mean, first of all, it's expensive. Let me tell you.
For sure. It's now prenups are gonna cost you about a good $5,000.
Yeah. So, but I think I look at it as like getting lawyers involved before you're even married. Like, I just find that hard. Like, again, like I said, the consequences of my actions led me to potentially even worse consequences, right? And so sometimes I look at it as like, not God's wrath, right? Like, I did it to myself. God wasn't like, you're a bad person, right? So you're going to lose your wife and kids. It's more that because I didn't uphold my piece of the covenant of the marriage, now there's consequences, right? Instead of trying to protect all that, it's like, I think there would have to be a lot of changes in society before we look. Sorry, it's freaking freezing where I am. You're in Texas, so it's probably warm. I'm freezing out here.
Yeah,
I'm at work. I'm at work, but I had to jump on. I was like, I gotta jump into this.
Yeah, So when we're talking about even societal, right? Because for me, and this is something that we have to understand, even establishing a covenant or community, right? Mind you, bro. If somebody tells you, hey, if you murder somebody, then you will be murdered, or you will be killed publicly. Cool.
Sure. Yeah.
How many murders do you think happen in that society?
A lot less.
Why?
Yeah,
because you understand the consequences of your actions.
Right.
So when we talk about in a culture where if someone committed adultery, then that means it is a wrap. You get the death penalty. As the Old Testament and New Testament would define a sin that leads to death. So when we live in a community that tells us, hey, there are consequences. So that is something that in the whole Leviticus, it's a prenup.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, not in the aspect of like
so
a marriage,
it could weed out these marriages that are going to end up divorced because they didn't understand.
As a contract, if I write my contract and I say in my prenup, I'm like, hey, wife, I want you to be assured. If and so I ever go out and start hitting these streets, know
Right.
that you will
Right.
be compensated for this, and this because I broke my part of this. And I can put that
Right.
in the contract. And then let's just say I start thinking in my mind, man, I'm trying to kind of starting to get bored. I know not only will I pay spiritually, but I also pay fit. I'm like, man, on that contract, if I do this, I'm gonna have to pay them.
All right. I see. That's a good way of looking at it. That's a good way of looking
And
at
so
it.
it's not just, hey, when it ends, it's like, or if it's like, you know what, let's put something in here. So it encourages us to continue in this.
Right. It encourages. Right. That makes sense.
By understanding the consequences.
Right. Cool, man. All right, I got to bounce. I got to get back to work. But
love you, bro. Take care, man.
You too, man. Bye.
Yeah. Asado, I know you said you wanted to hop in, bro. Prenups are biblical. Changed my mind. They're biblical. I said it, I meant it. I meant it, I said it. Y'all, okay, for the people that have been tuning in and feeling me, you know what I'm saying? Like, talk to me. Y'all get what I'm saying, man? Y'all get what I'm saying? Prenups are biblical. Changed my mind. Preparation before reparations. Ooh, I like that. Preparation before reparations. Talk to me, bro.
I don't know, man. I don't know. See, I think that taking a step back, right? I'm Nigerian, and so the way we do marriage in Africa is different, right?
Different. Yeah.
It's not an individual decision. Before you can start dating somebody, both families need to be aware of what's going on, and they can veto if it's like, nah, we don't really think it's going to be good for you, because there's that, there's the vision that they have that supersedes your blind spots. They know the goal of the family, and they know, like, this ain't gonna work, or this family has a history of this, or you know what, you don't know what they're hiding, but I know another cousin over here. Like, there's just a lot that goes into it, right? So, but the checkpoints before you start dating, the checkpoints before you think you're gonna get engaged, there's a checkpoint at the engagement, and there's another checkpoint at the wedding, and then even throughout the marriage. If there are issues, you don't just fight it out at the house. Now, both families can come together in order to resolve issues. So there's a lot that goes into it. And so at that point in that society, I think that if you had some sort of prenup there, it would look different, right? It would be something that was agreed upon by both families as terms of engagement, right?
Now, mind you, what I would say is all that you described is a prenup.
Cool. So we're talking about terms of
engagement. It is an agreement before a marriage. We're not talking about divorce. Because a prenup in that scenario could be, hey, wait, you mean to tell me I'm only getting this much land and you're getting that much land? Oh, I'm not down with that. But you mean to tell me we're giving you the majority of the lion's share of the resources? So we come together? Oh, no, I don't agree with that. You don't agree on it. So before the marriage, y'all have to come to terms. That is a prenup.
So here's where I think you and I differ. I would say three things. One, the first thing is that this is in our society that we're living in America. I think that it's something where a lot of couples fall short. And so what you're saying documentation would require, what I'm saying is that's usually the dating process, right? Like, that's usually, what do we know about each other? Not just you and me, let's go out and have coffee, but are you engaged with my community? First of all, do I even have community? But are you engaged with the people who know me better than I'm willing to admit? You know,
what would you say is the disagreement in the first point?
That I think that what you're saying is documentation is really just like the dating process, to where, like, and on a contract, you really can't you can't lie, right? On a contract, you can't say that you're a certain type of person or understand how we interact with each other and lie in a contract, right? It is what it is. But instead of a contract, I think that that's just part of, like, getting to know somebody and being able to be honest